to another edition of the Food and Farm Show. I'm Teresa Dietrich here with my co-host, last year's Master Showmanship winner, Heath Mullen.
Hey guys.
So we're looking today at, first up is going to be the beef cattle showmanship. And so as we're getting ready for this, Heath, how much pressure are these showmen under?
They're put under a lot of pressure. Most of these exhibitors have been competing the past couple days, so they're all kind of on their last nerve, been stressed out these past days, and are been studying as much as they can the past couple days. So it's been a lot of pressure on them, and it's a lot of relief when you get it all over with.
So they're looking forward to a nice cold drink at the end of the day today.
Yeah, they definitely would be. It's definitely going to be an intense Master Showmanship competition in the FA and 4-H divisions.
And you know most of these showmen.
Yeah, I definitely do know most of them. I've shown with a lot of them throughout the years.
And you've competed against them in the past?
Yeah, I definitely have competed against them. The Maddie Prector in the beginning, I've competed against her, and then the two at the end, Fallon Foster and Brianna Cibulero, competed against them my whole life. So it's always some friendships and rivalries made in the steer barns.
That's part of what's great about 4-H and FFA, though, isn't it? You're all working together for a common goal, but you're also competing with each other.
Yeah, it definitely is. All of us, we all come together when we need to, and then at the same time we're all compete against each other, so kind of evens each other out in the long run.
I noticed that the 4-H kids, they no longer have to wear a hat and scarf. Is that what's going on here?
No,
or are they
these
Grange?
two would be the independent exhibitors.
Oh, they're independents, okay. So we don't actually have a 4-H exhibitor in this competition today?
No, this would be the FA and independent group, and then next would come in and be the 4-H group.
Okay, I thought they were all going to come in together, so I was a little confused about the way it's going to work today.
What are they doing now?
So right now, the judges having them walk in circles, kind of seeing how these exhibitors handle those animals. They're having trouble, they're making eye contact, and all in all what they're doing, so he can get a better reading on who's going to be at the top of this class.
And for those who have never watched this before, we should make it clear that these are not their animals. These are animals that are somebody else's project, so they've never shown these animals before this moment today.
Yeah, exactly. They're random animals selected from the barn. Exhibitors have no idea whose they are or what they do. It's kind of luck of the draw on what you get. If you get a good one, you get a good one. If you don't, you don't.
And Brianna here seems to be having the stubborn Angus version today.
She definitely does have the stubborn Angus, doesn't want to walk.
So how many points do you get for do you know how this works as far as points goes? She handled that pretty gracefully, but eventually she had to get assistance. Is that going to be marked down against her?
I'm not actually too sure on that. I don't think it would be marked down against her because there's nothing she can do in her control. It's kind of the steer's making up his own mind of what he wants to do. So I don't think, honestly, that she could be marked down against that. So I don't think it'll hurt her in the long run.
And what kind of questions in your recent experience is the judge asking the showman?
He could be asking anything from what breed is your animal, what do you change about that animal, what do you like, and then kind of what are some like primal cuts, what's market prices of those animals, just kind of a broad horizon of anything that has to do with that species.
And did they talk about veterinary care, how many stomachs they have, all of that? You have to know all of that?
They definitely could talk about it. It kind of depends on what that judge wants to ask. It's kind of luck of the draw. He gets to pick, like, if he's special in beef or if he's a beef guy, he's going to ask harder beef questions than other species. So it all just depends on what he wants or what he likes.
And what species he's most familiar with.
Yeah,
correct?
Exactly.
Now, will this same judge go to the swine arena with us?
Yeah, so he's the same judge for all 6 competitions.
Okay. So it's hard to tell what his specialty is.
Yeah, it definitely is hard to tell.
Now, how is this going to, we've got the beef in here. Next is going to be coming out the dairy cattle, which is pretty rare for a fair to have enough dairy cattle these days to actually field enough cows, right, for the competition.
Yeah, it definitely is. The Nevada County Fair is kind of getting a lot more popular with the dairy cattle, so we've been fortunate the past couple of years to have enough to field, be able to have 6 dairy heifers in here that those exhibitors haven't worked with in the past.
Follow the judge.
So the judge is he started up here asking questions.
Yeah, he's kind of working his way around, testing those exhibitors on what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, if they're lacking in what he wants to see on like position on when he's at that animal. And he's like kind of touching the side of the animal to see if the exhibitor will brush them after he walks past, because that's kind of part of it. You have to brush that animal once he's gone from your...
So you have a comb in your pocket?
Yeah, you have a Scotch comb and a show stick.
Okay. And
Who was he talking to?
oh, I think it would be fun to say who the different people... So this is Brianna.
So in the back is
Cebollero.
Brianna Cebollero. In front of her is Fallon Foster. In front of her at the little smoky calf is Jerry Groves. In front of her is Cheyenne Little. Then Marina McKenzie, and then Maddie Prector's in the very front.
No guys this year. What do you think about that? Are you surprised?
Not really. It's usually the girls who come out on top in those showmanship classes. The guys, they always give them a run for their money, but it's always the girls who end up on the top of those showmanship classes. So, I mean, I'm not really surprised.
So you must have had a lot of fans last year, being a guy in the top competition, huh?
Yeah, it definitely did. It was definitely being weird, or that was definitely weird being one of the only guys in the Master Showmanship competition.
So were you the only guy?
No, there was one other
Oh, there
guy
was
in my
one, okay.
division also.
Okay.
But it's still kind of weird just being the only two when you're surrounded by a bunch of other girls.
So now is he going to just walk them around? Is he going to line them up in order so that we know who won this portion, or will he keep it a secret until the end?
No, he will have them walk again. He'll stop them in a certain spot. He won't place them at all, just so we don't know who's going to end up being the winner. He'll pull out a little note card and he'll walk and write down the exhibitor's number from first to third place.
That
He
looks
just
like
picked
what he's
up
going
his
to do
note
now.
card right now.
Yes.
So he's getting ready to place the class.
Okay, so when you're the exhibitor and you see that, what do you start thinking?
You kind of think that you need to step it up if you haven't been doing that great. So it's definitely interesting. You're like, oh no, if I haven't been doing that great, I need to step it up these last couple seconds and really get my steer like going hard. And
Try to catch his eye, right?
Yeah, exactly. You try to catch his eye and be the best that you could be.
So now, do you feel like the color differentiation gives anybody any advantage in here?
No, it definitely does not. The exhibitors aren't really based on what the animal looks like. They're based on how well they can show it. So if you have a spot of flaw in that animal, you can show it out of that animal. So has nothing to do with their color or anything like that.
I can remember when we were showing market animals that certain colors, certain years would do better in market classes. So it just seems like some colors are more flashy. They draw the judge's eye more. That's what I wondered about that little smoky calf. He's very unique. It seems like it would be a little bit of an advantage or a disadvantage to have the most unique looking steer in there.
I think definitely in like a market class it can be an advantage or disadvantage. Not really in a showmanship class, just because you're based on how well you can show. So maybe if it was a market class, he could have an advantage because it's kind of drawing the attention to him, because he's kind of a smoky, unique calf that isn't really like blending in with anything else.
Now, when I was doing showmanship and 4-H, we would fit those steers out to a T. We ratted their tails, we sprayed them with Verathane of all things, we shoe blacked their hooves. We did all these things to make them look really flashy. We did these crazy, diamond-shaped patterns in their coats. We were allowed to use a lot more product. You can't really do that today. And these steers are all fitted by somebody else. So there's no points being assessed for that either.
No, there definitely isn't. And normally in showmanship classes, it's not really about the fitting. You're kind of just seeing like that your animal is well groomed. So like if that exhibitor saw a spot on the side, they could brush it forward to make it look a little better than what it actually was. So you're not really based on anything having to do with the fitting or experience like that at all.
Now when you see a white spot on this black calf at the end, she couldn't get to that safely to change that, could she?
No, she could not. So that's kind of just has to leave it. That's from another steer just rubbing on her butt. So it's nothing that she could have done to fix that or do anything else.
Now, if it was you, would you be using your show stick to bring their top lines up a little bit more? It doesn't seem like they're really doing that much of that. They're just kind of keeping them calm, but not...
Yeah, definitely if it was me, I'd be trying to get that back line up best that I could. If it's not wanting to go up, then it's not going to go up. But I'd definitely be trying my hardest to get that top up just to make them look a little bit better.
And do they all look pretty square to you, don't they?
Yeah, they definitely all do look square right now. Everyone has their animals set up perfectly.
That concludes our FFA.
So if you were going to pick a winner of this group, you want to keep track of it on the side, and let's see how you do.
Okay.
Well, at the end, we'll tally it up and see how you did. How's
Okay.
that? The Master Showman.
Here comes the owners of the steers.
Here comes all the handlers or owners of the steers to take them back to the barn, and next will be the dairy cows. Heifers, right? We're getting heifers?
Dairy heifers.
No,
No cows.
No cows
Well, actually,
in-
we still have the 4-H beef competition to do.
Okay.
And then those beef cattle will leave.
Will these same steers be used for the 4-H?
Yeah, the same exact animals
Okay.
are used for every species. So 4-H
Okay.
kind of comes in at a disadvantage because those animals get tired in the beginning.
So now the 4-H is going to come in now, take over, and then we'll move everybody to dairy cows. That's the way it's going to work.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So
Okay.
4-H always goes behind FFA, so it's kind of hard for them when they come in at that disadvantage of those animals already being tired, already being cranky. And it's kind of rough for the 4-H sometimes when that does happen.
And you showed 4-H when you were young, and then you went on to FFA.
Yeah, I did. I started in 4-H with pygmy goats, moved up to meat goats, swine, and then eventually ended up in cattle, and now in FFA showing cattle and sometimes goats.
So how many times have you made it to the Masters?
I've only been in Masters twice. My first time I was second place, and then this last time I was able to win it this last county fair in 2014.
Nice. A lot of kids never make it that far at all. It takes
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize how much effort it takes to perfect showmanship.
Yeah, it definitely does. I was able to win it beef showmanship 2 years in a row, so it was kind of really special to me, and I was kind of going for that third year this year, but Mr. didn't want to cooperate in showmanship, so didn't make it
Oh,
out.
you should have been dragging it behind the tractor a little bit more, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
So while they're getting started here, do you know these 4-H kids as well?
Yeah, I definitely do. So in the very front with Becca Reese, and then behind her is Keith Ward. Behind him is Josh Smith. And then we have Jeannie King, then Gracie Trimble, and then following at the end is Riley Prechter.
Oh, two Prechters, they're related.
Yeah, they're two sisters, both won beef cattle showmanship.
Wow. Strong gene pool there, huh?
Yeah, they definitely are. They're awesome showmen.
So now we're seeing the classic 4-H uniform, other than the young man in the second in the row.
Josh Smith is the dairy goat winner, and he's an independent exhibitor.
Okay.
He's just too young to compete with FFA kids, so...
Oh, there's an slight age differentiation.
Yeah, exactly, there is.
Now, at the end of the day, you'll have a winner of the 4-H independent and then a winner of the FFA independent?
Yes, you will have two overall winners.
And then will there be one that has the most points, or do they not tally that?
They don't tally, so we'll have one overall winner for FFA and one overall winner for 4-H. And then those two exhibitors will be able to compete at the state fair in 2016 to represent Nevada County in the County Best of Fair Master Showmanship competition.
Oh, how fun. So you went on to do that.
Yeah, I did.
How was that experience?
It was awesome. It was the most amazing experience of my life, seeing how many top exhibitors there are. Everyone has the same intensity.
She's April Reese's daughter from A to Z Supply.
Oh, right. So he's starting his questions. I noticed that this young 4-H girl seems to not be having as much trouble with that Angus as the FFA girl was. Did you notice that?
Yeah, so Riley definitely did have it a little more under control and was able to keep it going better.
So will those points adjust at all based on this in the FFA tally?
No, they definitely shouldn't, because he's already placed that FFA class. So
Okay.
he's already done with that. He can't go back and change anything about that class.
That could be a real disadvantage or advantage if they did it the other way, huh?
Yeah, it definitely could be.
So now the young...
Is he talking to you now?
So right now he's talking to Josh Smith with the little smoky calf and see if Josh can answer the questions that he's asking right now.
Now, Josh is pretty close to the steer in front of him. How do they rate that? I mean, if this was horses, you don't want to have your cattle or you don't want to have your animals so close together on each other.
So he definitely will get marked down a little bit for being so close. You kind of want to keep about 5 to 6 feet in between you and the next animal. So that definitely is a little too close.
There's only one that's doing that.
Yeah, all of them else have pretty decent gaps. They're really good.
That steer is just pushing him around too.
Yeah,
steer. So he didn't start out there, did he?
No, I definitely don't think he did. The steer doesn't want to cooperate, so.
Again, the same thing you were saying earlier about the luck of the draw. And that calf was pretty malleable earlier, but he's definitely being a little less compliant now. Now she's pulling hers out.
Yeah, Riley just wanted to reset her feet, so she's going to pull her out. Makes it look like she kind of knows really what she's doing. She's able to set those feet by just walking that calf into place and not having to use the show stick at all.
And it looks like she gave herself a little more space.
Yeah, she definitely did get some more space in there.
And is she in any danger with having the shavings on his belly?
No, she shouldn't be at all.
Because that's too far for her to safely reach.
Yeah, definitely.
Safety is a big part of this, isn't it?
Yeah, safety is everything. The judge wants to make sure you're able to handle that animal adequately and be safe around it.
So in watching this, how do you feel the 4-H kids and the independent are doing versus how the FFA kids did?
I definitely think the 4-H is doing good. FFA kind of just steps it up a little bit for me just because they are more experienced exhibitors. They've kind of been doing it for a lot longer than some of these 4-H members. So FFA really steps it up for me.
Oh, there she goes with her Scotch comb.
Yeah, Riley definitely.
She's on top of this.
She's a beef showman, so she knows exactly what to do. She's really good at what she does.
Do you know which animals? So she was the beef winner.
Yeah.
He was the goat.
Becca Reese in the front. She is the swine winner. Then Keith Ward was the dairy cattle winner. Josh Smith was the dairy goat winner. And then Jeannie King is the meat goat winner, and Gracie Trimble is the sheep winner, and then Riley Prechter is the beef winner.
Okay. So the beef winner and the dairy cow winner really have a big advantage.
They kind of do. It's kind of, you have that one animal that you master already, that you've mastered, that you go into, so you really see those exhibitors shine in their species, and then you can kind of tell what they lack in when they go to these other species that they might be having trouble with.
Now, we used to all get together before what we called round robin and all practice together. So the other master showman would come in, and I, as the winner of, say, dairy goats, I would help them work with dairy goats and learn more about showmanship. Is that going on at this fair?
Yeah, definitely. So I actually helped Keith Ward and Josh Smith today with the beef cattle, just because I've been the winner the past 2 years. So they came and asked me for help, and I had a lot of fun helping them. They both did really good when I helped them. So I feel like I was able to mentor them good. And I think that they should do fairly good in the competition.
So how many hours of practice do you put in before this event if you are one of the other species?
So a lot of the other species come in at a huge advantage. The goats, the meat goats, the sheep, the swine all come in at an advantage because they have a lot more days than the beef cattle and the dairy cattle and the dairy goat kids. Just because we don't show till Friday, they show Wednesday and Thursday, so they come in at that advantage of having those couple extra days to prepare and practice. So really, you want to be kind of, if you think you're going to be in the top, you kind of want to start practicing before fair even happens, just so you're able to practice and be ready just in case you do make it. So you already kind of have that little bit of a leg up and are able to practice good.
Because otherwise they would have only had last night and this morning, and sometimes showmanship ends pretty late at night too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. So it's always kind of a little bit of a gamble being a beef kid or dairy goat kid or dairy cattle kid, just because you're so, like, you have a lot of preparing that night to do in that morning. You're kind of busy all day long, and after you win, you're just studying that whole night straight, not really getting out to go like have fun with your friends or enjoy the fair that much.
Shows a lot of dedication.
Yeah, it definitely does show dedication. These exhibitors have put in those time, the hours, they've won their species, which those aren't too easy to win, especially if you have a lot of good kids showing cattle or beef, or not cattle or beef, whatever those species could be. It's definitely hard for some exhibitors.
Now, did you watch the other showmanships, the seniors?
Yeah, I watched pretty much all the showmanships this year except for the dairy cattle and dairy goats.
Yeah, the results are in.
So it looks like the results are in for this, and now we're going to move on to dairy cattle. As the handlers and owners of these steers come and take them away.
Next in the ring, we will start with our
Kind of an honor to have your animal chosen for this, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is. You are like, oh wow, they actually care about my animal. They like my animal. They thought it was good. And I think it's an awesome opportunity for exhibitors to have their animal put into the Master Showmanship competition.
You do have to get them all clean and spiced up, and I know I saw Sydney Franks over here blow drying her steer earlier today.
Yeah, you do have to make sure that they look presentable for this Master Showmanship competition. Your animal is on display to these people. They know that it's your animal, so you kind of want them to look good. So then you have a good name with those people.
So I'm Teresa Dietrich. We are here at the Food and Farm Show. I'm here with our guest host, last year's Master Showmanship winner, Heath Mullen. And which FFA are you with, Heath?
I'm with Nevada Union FFA. I just graduated, so I have one more year of showing left.
So we were talking about the age thing. That might be an interesting thing for the viewers to hear how this works. What are the age ranges? Things have changed a little bit since I was in, so go ahead and tell us what the age ranges are.
So 4-H, you're allowed to show market animals or dairy animals as soon as you're 9, and then you kind of can stay in 4-H as long as you want, but then you can also join FFA if you would like to, but it's not mandatory that you do so. So FFA is for 8th grade to freshman in college. So if you want to be a part of that, as long as you want to, you can. So you have a possible being in an FFA for 6 years.
And which did you like one really a lot more than the other, or was it just a natural transition for you?
It was kind of a natural transition. I had a lot of friends that were up at the high school already in FFA, so it was already a great experience for me to already be there and kind of know people and know what I was getting myself into.
Now we're going to take a very short break. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more Master Showmanship here at the Nevada County Fair. This is the 2015 Master Showmanship Competition.
Greg's Organics is a certified organic farm located on West Main Street in downtown Grass Valley. Taste the love of locally grown CCOF certified organic tomatoes. Greg's Organics specializes in unique, rare, and highly sought-after varieties. Greg's Organics are sold only to the best supermarkets, health food stores, restaurants, and school districts.
Greg's Organics, taste the love!
Anything Green Hydroponics is your source for hydro systems, grow lights, and soils. Anything Green offers a complete range of organic nutrients as well as fungicides, miticides, and predatory bugs. Anything Green Hydroponics has just received this year's soil. Get your totes, pallets, or individual bags. Stay tuned for future workshops. It's all at Anything Green Hydroponics.
It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center.
Welcome back to the 2015 Nevada County Fair Master Showmanship Competition. I'm Teresa Dietrich here with my co-host, Heath Mullen, last year's Master Showmanship winner.
So right now we're going to be starting the dairy cattle competition. So all the dairy cattle are provided by Mike Blagg of Blagg Livestock. So it'll definitely be an interesting dairy cattle show right now.
And what breeds are we looking at here?
Most of these breeds are all going to be Jersey crosses. If I had to put my money on it, most of them are going to be Jerseys. I know for sure the 3 kind of cream colored light brown ones are all Jersey crosses.
I love their little muzzles. So let's talk now about who we're seeing, what order they're in, and what chapter or...
In the front, we have Marina McKenzie, and she's an independent exhibitor. She's the meat goat winner. Then next we have Fallon Foster from Nevada Union FFA. She's the sheep winner. Then we have Maddie Prechter of Bear River FFA. She's the beef winner. And then after Maddie, we have Brianna Cibulero from Nevada Union FFA, and she is the swine winner. After that, we have Jerry Groves of Nevada Union FFA, and she's the dairy goat winner. And then to follow up the rear, we have Cheyenne Little, and she's an independent exhibitor, and she was the dairy cattle winner.
How do you feel in the cattle functionality here? Who has the most disadvantage as far as the difference in showing species? Would that be the swine?
Yeah, I definitely think it would be swine. Swine exhibitors kind of, I think they have a disadvantage in all because they're not used to having halters on their animals or anything like that.
And pigs you don't really set up.
No, you don't set up at all.
Pigs are kind of crazy.
They have a free mind.
I always jokingly say that the swine classes kind of remind me of a bunch of little maggots just squirming around. They can get so wild and crazy and running all over the place. You get a lot of exercise in swine.
Yeah, they do.
So here they're building their arm strength.
Yeah, they definitely are. You build a lot of arm strength with dairy cattle and beef cattle.
Would you say these are probably yearlings, or what age do you suppose these
Yeah, I would
cows
say
are?
that they're most likely yearlings. Could have been a little bit older or a little bit younger too. But most likely all of them are pretty much yearling heifers.
And were these animals shown in the open division then?
Yeah, they were shown in the open division by Mike Blag and his crew. They helped show. Now we have the judge talking to Fallon Foster, asking different questions to her.
What would be the different questions that she would be hearing that the showman will hear from the dairy cow versus the beef cattle?
For dairy cattle, it's kind of going to be about what the dairy strength is, what they like about that heifer, like kind of milk questions related, like what produces more milk, Jerseys or Holsteins, how much milk they could produce, and then beef cattle, you're kind of asking what their breeds are and what they like or would change about that animal, and like what that breed's maybe known for or something like that.
Now looking at how these heifers are set up, how do you feel about the way they're set up here?
All of them right now have the cattle set up in the correct position. You kind of want to show off that udder to the judge. So if you look, you can kind of see how that back leg that's closest to the fence is back some, just because the judge is on that side.
So you're not showing them as squarely when it's not a meat animal?
No, you don't show them square at all. You always want to make sure that udder is being shown off.
I don't think we had dairy cows in our round robin, so this is totally a different species for me. So he seems to be asking them pretty complicated questions.
Yeah, the dairy cattle dairy cattle questions can be really complicated. It kind of depends on everything that's going on with that heifer or not.
When you see him rubbing like that, is there something she needs to do now? They took their scotch combs out. They are not going to groom now.
No, they don't have to do anything on dairy cattle.
These are pretty slick anyways, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all slick sheared.
Would this be the part that would make you the most nervous, talking to the judge?
Kind of. Dairy cattle is my worst thing to show. I don't like them that much at all, so dairy cattle is my least favorite, and I feel like it's a lot of the exhibitors' least favorite unless you kind of already show that dairy cattle species.
So Brianna just pulled hers out again, like we saw the young lady in the 4-H division do, and that shows the judge that you're really paying attention, doesn't it?
Yeah, she knew she got a little too close to the exhibitor in front of her and wanted to have more room for herself, so she pulled out and reset her animal and was able to be farther back.
And we can see this young lady she's been kind of using her hand to push that heifer one direction or the other. And that's exactly what she's trying to do also, right, without having to circle.
Yeah, the heifers, the dairy cattle have a pressure point right in their shoulder, so you can use that to maneuver the heifer back when the judge comes on this side that you're on, so you can show off the udder on that side. So it's kind of a cool thing that you can do by using just your hands to move these heifers.
Now that
because unlike the beef cattle, you don't have a show stick to set those feet.
Right. Okay, that's what I'm seeing the difference is here. And also they don't have anything to calm them down with. Because with the beef cattle, they get used to being scratched on their stomach. They find that very soothing and calming.
Yeah, they definitely do. Like with dairy cattle, you can kind of scratch them on their chin or neck, and it kind of calms them down a little bit.
The second from the end got a little wild there for a moment.
Yeah,
Looked like we were going to be in for a ride.
They can be a little wild sometimes.
She handled it quite well, I thought.
Yeah, she definitely did.
She got it right back under control. Oh. So now these young lady with the first light colored heifer just backed right up into the heifer in front of her. Will that be a mark against her?
It could be, just because she wasn't having like real ring attention. So it definitely could be a disadvantage, or the judge couldn't have seen it, so she could be fine too.
Okay, so it all just depends on what the judge sees. It's the luck of the draw.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of luck of the draw. If the judge saw you do something bad, you're gonna get docked. If he didn't see you got away with it, you got lucky.
So sometimes you just kind of breathe and hope.
Yep. You make a mistake, you're like, oh, I hope the judge did not see that happen.
Skill, talent, intellect, they're all wonderful, but luck is great, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is.
So he just wrote down the numbers on the scorecard, and that's the nerve-wracking part, right, on the scorecard?
It always is.
And now we're going to see the handlers take over, and in will come the next group.
That concludes the FFA class of our dairy cattle portion of the large animal master showmanship competition.
How did you feel they did?
Next in the ring, we are
I
going
think
to
they all
have
did
our
really good. They're all really solid showmen all the way through. So I think it's definitely be a close master competition for these FFA and independent exhibitors.
I think the swine is what separates the pups from the big dogs.
Yes, the swine, and I feel that the meat goats kind of do too.
Oh yes, that was so hard for me to learn to show because dairy goats were what I grew up with, and the meat goats are really different.
You'll probably see a complete different way of showing too now. It's you kind of show them how you show lambs nowadays. So it's definitely a giant difference.
Here comes our little 4-H, an independent, a young showman.
Let's introduce him again.
As they walk around, we're going to tell you who our showmen are again. We'll just keep doing that through each species so that it'll be easier for our viewing audience to keep track of. You know, when I was doing this, we didn't have the separation, I don't think. I think we all just showed together. Maybe we did. Maybe I'm having a memory lapse. But it seemed like we all showed at the same time.
So right here in front of us is Heath Ward. He is the Dairy Cattle Showmanship winner. And I think, I'm not too sure on the 4-H clubs with all these guys, just because they don't have anything to identify themselves with. But then we have Jeannie King right there, and she is the Meat Goat Showmanship winner. Behind her we have Riley Prechter. She is the Beef Cattle Showmanship winner. Behind her is Josh Smith. He's the Independent Exhibitor, and he's a Dairy Goat winner. Behind him is Becca Reese. She is 4-H and is the Swine Showmanship winner. And behind her is Gracie Trimble. She's the Sheep Showmanship winner, and she also shows dairy cattle.
Oh, so she has a nice advantage in this particular competition.
She knows exactly kind of what to do.
How many of these kids are showing multiple species here?
Keith Ward in the front, he shows pigs too. And Jeannie King kind of shows a little mix of everything. And then the other 3 exhibitors just show their respective species. And then Gracie kind of shows a mix of everything too.
So he's asking her questions. What do you suppose he's asking her?
He could kind of a multiple of anything. Not too sure on the dairy cattle, just because it's not really my species, and don't feel too comfortable with dairy cattle.
Do you think he asked them about their lactation, gestation? Those are different than
Yeah, definitely he could be asking what's the gestation, that cow, how much milk that cow would produce, maybe what they like, then kind of a mix of different things.
What breeds? He might be asking them about their breeds.
Yeah, definitely could be asking some breed questions. It's kind of a common question that judges will ask in Master Showmanship competitions.
That's a really sharp-looking heifer.
Yeah, it's a real clean black heifer.
She looks rather different than the others, so she must be more Holstein?
Yeah, I
you
would say
say?
probably more Holstein. She's a lot taller than everything else. There's 3 cream heifers that he's going to right now with Becca Reese. They're all Jersey crosses or purebred jerseys.
Now, Ms. Trimble just happened to be further apart when he started asking her questions, right? He did not pull her aside or anything.
No, she was just back there, so it's
Okay.
not, you're not going to walk forward while the judge is talking to you. So
Okay.
it's kind of just, she was back there, and it's kind of luck of the draw and where she was at when he started asking questions, and kind of she couldn't do anything to be that much closer to the other exhibitors.
Now, the beef cattle had leather halters on, and these look like they're all rope halters. Is that just the breeder brought them in this way, or?
Yeah, just the breeder. If he wanted, he could have put the show halters on them, like the beef cattle had on them, or he
Okay.
could have just left the rope halters. Mike mixes it up every once in a while, and he'll throw in those leather halters. It's kind of his personal preference on what he wants to use that year.
And is there any advantage from your perspective or disadvantage to one or the other? Because the leather halters do have a chain, right, that goes underneath the chin?
I think with the dairy cattle, every year that I've had both the chain halter or the leather halter and then the rope halter. I personally like the rope halter better. It doesn't freak them out too much when they jingle that chain, just because they're used to that rope halter all the time.
I see. So the noise of the show halter could be a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, it definitely could be.
So the rope halters will keep them a little quieter.
Yeah, it can. I think they're kind of used to that, so they all kind of just sit back, relax, and are fine with what's around their head.
They seem like a pretty mellow little group of heifers, don't they?
Yeah, they definitely do. They're kind of acting up during that FA show, but they kind of all calm down a little bit.
Maybe the 4-H exhibitors are more of animal whisperers. What do you think?
They definitely could be.
You believe in animal whispering there?
I don't know. I think it's possible sometimes.
So when you see this young lady, a lot of people at home might not realize that when they have the white hat, they're in high school.
Yeah, they are in high school.
And the green hat is pre-high school.
Yeah, so anywhere from kindergarten through 8th grade is the green hat, and then the white hat is anywhere in high school.
Now the young lady from Goats, she has an all-star, doesn't she? Is that what I'm seeing on her hat? They all have their different medallions.
I think so. I'm not too sure on the 4-H degrees or anything
Looks
like
like
that.
it's a bronze, silver, bronze, silver, gold all-star. She's an all-star. That takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, I bet it would.
To get to be all-star. I was never that concerned about doing that, but my oldest brother, of course, was an all-star. So at least there was one in our family. My middle brother and I, we were not as concerned about that as we were about winning the carcass competition and things like that.
Yeah, my whole thing is always about showmanship, so it's kind of always showmanship for me. And then market, if I do good, it's always just a little add-on to what happens in the showmanship competition.
So having done both, the judge is going to the scorecard now. Having done both, is the record keeping pretty comparable?
Not really. I definitely do a lot better in showmanship usually. Kind of do decently in market every once in a while. They got second in my class this year, so I was kind of happy about that.
Oh, that's good. Now I think we have sheep coming in next.
Yeah, it is sheep next, and then we'll move up to the Whitney Pavilion for dairy, goats, meat goats, and swine.
And I'm really looking forward to the swine.
So Keith's heifer just laid down a little bit.
But
It's not fun
the
for that one.
scorecard has already been.
I think
Can that affect him?
No, because it's nothing he can do. It's that heifer just decided she wanted to quit, wanted to give up.
She's ready for a nap. Kind of like us, ready for a nap in the hot sun.
Yep. start scooting over to the shade.
See, I find the little light-colored, creamy muzzle on those heifers so cute.
Yeah.
I know that's not an ag statement, but I've always found their faces to be quite charming. So will the judge also, the other thing I wondered about, you said, well, he'll ask them how much milk they'll produce. Will he ask them maybe the difference in the butter fat levels between the different species?
Yeah, he definitely could. It's kind of what he wants to ask. That's always a possibility of questions he could ask. So it's kind of, you have to be diverse on everything with these dairy cattle just because there's so much that he could cover or ask you.
Oh, I'm not sure he was done with the scorecard. He's got the scorecard out again.
I think he's just going back through, making sure he's got that right, placing down.
Okay. A little nerve-wracking when he comes back out and around again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So, right about now you're sweating.
Yeah, you kind of are.
Oh, boy. The young Proctor gal, she is considerably smaller than everyone else. Do you know how old she is?
I think Riley is, I think she's
Attention,
about
in the sheep
12 or
barns,
13
middle
this
lots
year.
for age, please bring your sheep
That's
over to the
amazing, isn't
ringside
it?
for the showmanship competition. Thank you.
What a fantastic testimony. She's going to be, you're going to be seeing her in this arena for many years to come.
Yeah, she's an awesome showman. She knows what judges like. She knows how to get it done in a timely manner. That concludes the dairy cattle competition. We'll be back for the sheep portion. We're starting with FFA and then 4-H.
And we'll be right back.
Greg's Organics is a certified organic farm located on West Main Street in downtown Grass Valley. Taste the love of locally grown CCOF certified organic tomatoes. Greg's Organics specializes in unique, rare, and highly sought-after varieties. Greg's Organics are sold only to the best supermarkets, health food stores, restaurants, and school districts.
Greg's Organics, taste the love.
Anything Green Hydroponics is your source for hydrosystems, grow lights, and soils. Anything Green offers a complete range of organic nutrients as well as fungicides, miticides, and predatory bugs. Anything Green Hydroponics has just received this year's soil. Get your totes, pallets, or individual bags. Stay tuned for future workshops. It's all at Anything Green Hydroponics.
We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I love SPD Market because I know all the people here and I've been coming here for a long time. I do all my socializing here and they're just a great community supporter.
I like SPD Market because it's like coming home and seeing all the people I've known for years.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Welcome back to the Food and Farm Show. We're here at the 2015 Master Showmanship Competition, and we are now moving on to sheep. And my co-host Heath Mullen is last year's Master Showmanship winner. So Heath, how do you feel when the lamb gets loose like that?
It's crazy just because it's such a big ring, it's hard to catch them. It's definitely interesting to see the exhibitor, how they take that animal and how they kind of redo what they have to do.
Oh dear. And they can jump.
Yes,
those
they
sheep.
definitely can.
It's I had one year in showmanship, my dairy goat kicked the judge right in the forehead.
Oh gosh. That's no fun.
I've seen kids get dragged across the show ring by an animal. It can be quite stressful, can't it, when something like that happens?
Stressful. It's like, uh-oh.
Now, how much will that throw her off?
It definitely will, just because she's not able to keep control of that animal.
So it's not just points, though. She will now have kind of a little tension, won't she? She'll be feeling a little
will have
concerned.
a little tension, and she definitely knows that will affect her. So it's kind of hard to recover from that in such a cheap judge. That was Cheyenne Little. She's an independent exhibitor.
Of course. These are sheep that are unknown to these showmen, And
Yeah,
they may have picked the wildest sheep in the barn, right?
Yeah, they definitely could have. So those animals are used to those exhibitors showing and how the exhibitors show them, and it's definitely interesting to see how that exhibitor is able to handle that animal if they're used to being shown a different way.
Now we just saw them take her animal out, and they must be going to replace it with a different one. Now, tell us why that would have occurred.
Just because that lamb kind of seemed a little spooky in the beginning, they definitely want to try to give all exhibitors a fair advantage, and it's kind of hard when you can't compete with something that's crazy like that, and it's kind of hard for that exhibitor to really function with that animal.
We're watching the 2015 Master Showmanship Competition at the Nevada County Fair. We thought we were going to have a little break because one lamb had to be exchanged, but they're going ahead and moving forward, and Cheyenne Little is waiting for her replacement, which is coming in the ring right now. And there she goes.
So with these exhibitors, we have Brandon Cebulero with the black little weather in the front. We have Marina McKenzie behind her, then Jerry Groves, then Fallon Foster, then Maddie Prechter, and then to follow in the rear is Cheyenne Little with her new lamb.
Let's hope this one's a little nicer temperament.
Yeah, hopefully it is.
Now, when did you say these animals were shown originally? Were they?
All these lambs were shown on Wednesday, so they're kind of rusty a little bit.
Okay.
Haven't had a lot of days of practice, so they're kind of just a little confused right now.
So Heath, can you explain to the audience what the judge is looking for with the showmanship of this species?
So what the judge is looking for in lambs, you want to keep them square, you want to keep them braced that whole time, and you kind of just want to be aware of your ring presence and where judge is at, kind of just like all the other animals.
So the dairy cattle are really the only ones that are not squared.
Yeah, they are. Well, and then obviously pigs can't really control those.
Oh, well,
so.
that's true. And on the sheep, I remember feeling like we wanted to keep their top line up and straight. So a lot of times we would be crouching down a little bit and underneath them and scratching their belly a little bit.
We have some special awards today for the winner of our Master Showmanship Competition.
Styles change, don't they? I mean, when I was doing this, we had to fit our lambs out.
Yeah,
and we would,
styles have changed a lot, so it's definitely interesting to see the new style of everything. Like meat goats are completely showing just how sheep are now, except for you also do have the collar, but it's completely different.
And when you were talking with the beef cattle about the showman needs to clean it back off, now I see she's got sawdust on hers.
Yeah, it should be fine just because someone else brought that animal into the ring. She didn't have time to kind of dust it off. She went straight into showing.
Okay. So it's not as critical.
No, it definitely isn't as critical just because she came straight in and started showing.
And what kinds of questions will he be asking about sheep?
He could definitely be asking market price, that breed of the lamb, the top cuts of that sheep, and then kind of just what goes on with that sheep. What's like the daily gain of it? What's the feed conversion rate?
Ah, the feed conversion rate, the digestible energy, right?
Yep, definitely.
So I think it's important for the audience at home to realize there's a lot more going on here than just walking around in a circle with an animal.
All these sheep exhibitors have probably had these lambs up to about 60 days. They put in a lot of time, feed, money, and they've practiced showing those animals multiple times.
And they had to pick the right animal out to start with.
Yeah, they all kind of picked that animal in the beginning of the year, what they liked about it, and kind of picked out its faults and showed it out of them at those shows, and were able to conquer what would happen.
And when you have an exhibitor that has an animal that's rearing up like that, it didn't look like he really noticed it. Maybe he did, though.
Yeah, he's probably noticed it some just because he's been doing it a lot of the competition, but I think she should be fine.
He will probably accredit it to the animal and not the showman, you think?
Yeah, she is a sheep showman, Fallon Foster, so she should be golden and should be okay with everything.
Now, in the 4-H, we talked about how many of the exhibitors were showing multiple animals. Are most of these exhibitors showing multiple species as well?
The only one who shows there's Fallon Foster who shows sheep and cattle, and then Jerry Lee Groves shares dairy goats and meat goats, but that's pretty much it.
Most people that show meat goats show dairy goats also, don't they?
Yeah, they kind of do. It's kind of those couple animals that go hand in hand.
Now, what's he looking for now?
To make sure that they're on the right side of their animal when he's coming, you want to be able to switch sides back and forth. So it's kind of just a challenge when you're trying to remember everything else that's going on.
And you're supposed to be trying to maintain eye contact with him also, aren't you?
Yes, you are.
I know that was very important in dairy goats. I'm Teresa Dietrich here with my co-host Heath Mullen, last year's Master Showmanship winner. And Heath, what are we looking at here?
We're about to be starting the 4-H competition of the sheep show. It'll be interesting to see how these 4-H members do with some of those sheep. They're acting bad during the FFA and independent show.
It seemed like it went better for the 4-H kids in the last 2 rounds, so let's see what happens now.
Yeah, a lot of the 4-H are already doing better than some of those exhibitors. We have Riley Brecker on the end, already has that ewe, pretty well drove, really decent. She's a great little showman.
She is a great little showman. Can't wait to see what she turns into. So let's, as they come around, let's talk again about what these exhibitors, how they got here, what their species is.
So in the beginning, this front view is Riley Prechter. She shows beef cattle. Then we have Josh Smith behind her. He shows dairy cattle. They're not dairy cattle, dairy goats, excuse me. Then we have Becca Reese. She shows swine. We have Gracie Trimble coming in next. She shows sheep and dairy cattle. And we have Keith Ward coming in next. He shows dairy cattle and pigs. And then following at the end, we have Jeannie King, and she shows a lot of different species.
She won in meat goats.
If you're just joining us, this is the 2015 Nevada County Fair Large Animal Master Showmanship Competition. We take the showmanship winners from each of the large animal species, which are beef cattle, sheep, dairy goats, market goats, and swine. And the top winners all compete against each other, exhibiting each species in the ring today for the title of Master Showman. So let's have another round of applause for our exhibitors today. Now we have different breakers here.
So right now they should be blocking from the front.
Yeah, they should be having a hard brace on that lamb to get him to flex those muscles. If you notice, Keith Ward kind of just picked up his lamb to get him to brace hard.
And the reason for doing that is to make their leg look bigger.
Yeah, you kind of want to make that top line pop, those muscles pop out, and just make them look really big.
The leg of lamb is still the most expensive piece of meat on the lamb, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Lamb chops and the leg of lamb are the prime cuts.
Yeah, they should be.
So showmanship, even though showmanship is the art of showing your animal to the advantage, it is based upon showing the animal off to make it the most desirable.
Yeah, you want to be able to make sure that judge knows that you're able to show that animal efficiently and be able to show off its strengths, its weaknesses, or show off its strengths,
minimize
cover up those weaknesses.
Right. Minimize the weaknesses.
It's like a lot of these lambs really arch those backs. Like if you look at Keith Ward, it's kind of up there.
It's kind of
me, I'd be
roached
pinching
over.
That back down, keep them straight, keep them a little more stretched out than you would normally keep a lamb.
Stretching out is really key with sheep.
Yeah, especially if you have a lamb that likes to arch their backs. Like most of these lambs are pretty much arching their back most of the time. Look at Gracie Trimble. She has it pretty much down. Her lamb looks pretty good from the back profile.
He looks good. Now she's standing at a position that allows the judge to see the chest, cleanly see the chest of her lamb. And I didn't see everybody do that.
No, they all weren't doing it. These back two weren't doing it until she started doing it. They kind of just saw it. And the judges left me notice that they weren't doing it. So it's kind of a bummer that they weren't, but
that's the advantage of being the winner of the sheep showmanship.
Yep, it definitely is. You know what to do, you know what to expect.
Everybody should be watching her to see what her tricks are in making her lamb look the best.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this 4-H show plays out.
Now, I see that the independents, they can wear jeans.
Yeah, they can wear blue jeans, or they can wear white pants if they choose to. A lot of them just wear their blue jeans with a white shirt, or you can even wear a colored shirt if you would like to also.
And the 4-H, I thought at one time, was allowed to wear blue jeans as well.
I'm not too sure about the 4-H wearing blue jeans. As far as I know, they've always been in white pants.
Okay. That might be a county thing, because I have seen that in different counties where they'll actually be wearing blue jeans and white shirts and everything else normal.
Yeah, I know in different states also, like Oregon, you're allowed to wear black pants when you show instead of having to wear those whites. So, I mean, I like that a lot better, so then you're not covered in dirt by the end of the day.
It's hard to keep these white pants white.
Yeah, it is.
Very hard.
And I only showed for a couple hours, and by the time I was done, I was covered in dirt.
It's a dirty fairgrounds. He's looking at everybody. He's seeing if they're stretching and positioning. Oh. Checking out the exhibitor numbers. And it does seem to me like the sheep showmanship
They cooperated
winner.
a lot better for these 4-H exhibitors.
Yes, and I can definitely see the difference in the expertise. There's clearly two people that were a little more superior showmen in this category.
Yeah, there definitely is. I have a couple top 2 in each division that are kind of rising to the top for me.
So we've got Heath keeping track of his top 2. Let's see how he does at the end of the day. I can't wait to see how Heath's stats compare with the judges' stats. And now we're going to be taking a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be at the swine ring checking out, I think it's going to be dairy goats next.
Dairy goats, meat goats, and swine.
So stay right here. We'll be right back on the Food and Farm Show. Food and Farm Show.
It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I love SPD Market because I know all the people here and I've been coming here for a long time. I do all my socializing here and they're just a great community supporter.
I like SPD Market because it's like coming home and seeing all the people I've known for years.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Greg's Organics is a certified organic farm located on West Main Street in downtown Grass Valley. Taste the love of locally grown CCOF certified organic tomatoes. Greg's Organics specializes in unique, rare, and highly sought-after varieties. Greg's Organics are sold only to the best supermarkets, health food stores, restaurants, and school districts.
Greg's Organics, taste the love.
Okay, you guys ready for some cockroach races? Yeah! Excellent. Well, my name is Jennifer. I'm with Pacific Animal Productions, and what we are is an outreach and education company. We're based out of all the way in San Diego, actually, and we were so excited to be invited up here because the theme is to catch the fair bugs. So we brought a bunch of bugs and insects for you guys to learn about, and today we are going to race some cockroaches. Now these aren't just any regular old cockroaches, no, these are Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Now they come only from one place in the entire world, that is the island of Madagascar. When something comes only from one spot in the entire world, we call that endemic. That's a new word you can impress your parents with. Now, we are going to race these cockroaches down from one end of the raceway to the end. The first one to cross this finish line is, of course, the big winner. I am going to need some volunteers, some cockroach jockeys, to help out. Don't worry, we will have multiple races, so if you do not get the chance to race right immediately, don't worry, we will have another chance. Raise your hand up high if you want to volunteer. If you really, really want to volunteer, wave it around, jump up and down. If you really, really, really want to volunteer, put $5 in the air and I'll pick you for sure. Just kidding, it's free. Okay, let's go ahead and have you, my friend, right here in lane number 1. Come on up, Missy, and you're going to be in lane number 2. Let's have you be in lane number 3. If you're not racing right this moment, if you wouldn't mind taking one step back from the race track to let our racers in. You're going to be in lane number 3. Let's see, I need some more racers. Any other volunteers? Come on over. You're going to be in lane number 4 and right here in lane number 5. Don't worry, if I didn't pick you, it doesn't mean I don't like you. I just didn't have enough races. But we will have another race for sure. All right, so my corner people, the 5s and the 1s, you can be right where you are, so kind of on the corner. Okay, so you're gonna be in here. Can I have you take one step back just so she can get, or wait, you are a racer? Yeah. Okay, just kidding. Okay, you're gonna be in lane number 5. What you all need is a racing apparatus. That is what this straw is for. If your cockroach needs a little help going down the raceway, you are going to use this racing apparatus to help it go. How do you help it go? Is you give it a blow. Yep, and it will head down the raceway. No need to poke or prod because we want our racers to stay nice and whole. Yep, they need to race the rest of the fair. So, the other important job that my race cockroach jockeys need to do is you need to come up with a cockroach name. Okay, while you guys are thinking of a cockroach name for your little guy, I'm going to introduce them to the rest of the cheering section. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our cockroach racers. Now, we can tell this guy is a little boy because he has horns on the top of his head. Now, these guys are one of the largest species of cockroach. And of course, they're going to be really fast running down those lanes because they have 6 legs. Now, they have tiny little spines on those legs that they can climb up pretty slick surfaces. So when I put them in your starting blocks, I'll need your guys' help to kind of put your little hand over the top so that they don't climb out. They can climb up glass and plastic. So straight up the side, out they go. We would be out of a racer. Also, you'll notice they're going to stay on the racetrack and not fly away because, do they have wings? Nope. No, this species of cockroach does not have wings.
What kind of species is this one?
It's a Madagascar hissing cockroach.
From Madagascar?
Yes, from Madagascar.
Does it have a passport?
It does not have a passport. Yes, yes. These guys, though, don't tell them. They've never been to Madagascar. They don't know.
Oh,
yeah,
American born.
They're American born. Yes, indeed. Alrighty, guys, ready? You've thought of some names for your cockroach? Serious over there. Seriously thinking? Okay, we're going to give you this little guy. Okay, what's his name going to be? Frank is going to be in lane number 1. All right, yep, with help, there you go. You're going to keep that Frank in the raceway. All right, lane number 2, who are we going to have? Coco the cockroach is going to be in lane number 2. We have Frank, oops, sorry, sweetie, in lane number 1. Coco in lane number 2. And let's see here, in lane number 3, we have a little lady. And what's her name going to be? Joshua the cockroach. All right, we have Frank, Coco, and Joshua. This is rounding up to be a great race. Okay, then lane number 4, Missy, what would you like your cockroach name to be? Bob. Bob the cockroach is going to be in lane number 4. And last, and certainly not least, in lane number 5, we have another little lady. And what would you like her name to be?
Philly.
Hissy. All right, Hissy the cockroach. We have Bob in lane 4, Hissy in lane 5. It was Frank in lane 3, Coco in lane 2, and Frank in lane 1. That was Joshua, right? You were named George Joshua? Okay, Joshua in lane 3. Ooh, this is testing my brain right away. Alrighty, we gotta make sure. Where's our other friend in here? Oh, where'd he go?
Can I do
Oh, thank you. Gotta make sure he's still in there. Oh, he's resting. Great, he's working it out for resting for next race. Okay, are you guys ready? So you know how to do this racing apparatus, only if it needs help down the raceway. Okay, on our marks, get set, and go! Oh, in lane 3, Joshua is headed up, followed by Frank. Joshua is, and a rollover finish for Frank in lane 1. Oh, lane number 3 is headed back.
They stomped all over him, man.
Oh, that was a great race. Let's go ahead and give these racers a big round of applause. Okay. All right, I'm going to need 5 more volunteers to help. All right, in lane number 1, we have you here. In lane number 2, we have you right here. In lane number 3, right there. I need, you want to race lane number, let's do lane number 5 for you. And I need 1 more for lane number 4. Would you like to race? Okay, we're going to squeeze you in right here at lane number 4. And this little itty bitty one is going to be, oh, we're already racing. Lane number 1, what is your cockroach's name going to be?
Cucaracha.
Cucaracha, I like it. Okay, in lane number 2, we have the gentleman. What is your cockroach's name going to be?
I want him to be Jeff.
Jeff, all right, Cucaracha in lane number 1. Jeff in lane number 2. In lane number 3, who do we have?
Josh.
Josh, very popular name. Is there a Josh in the crowd? Are we naming him after someone? No? Okay, Josh is just, Joshua is a very popular name. Okay, La Cucaracha, Joshua, and what was it again? Jeff. Okay, the J names.
No, the name was Josh, but...
Josh, okay. If it's formal, if he's in trouble, do we call him Joshua? Okay. And lane number 4, what is your little cockroach going to be named? Alice. I like that name. All right, Alice is going to be in lane number 4. And in lane number 5, we are going to have... All right, we again have Jeff in lane 2, Josh in lane 3, Alice in lane 4, and Thrasher in lane 5. On your marks, cockroaches, get set, go! All right, in lane, lane number 3, we have Josh. He's headed to the, it's Josh by a mile. Lane number 2, Jeff is coming in. And then we have La Cucaracha in number 3. Oh, lane number 3 is headed back. Oh, no. Thank you guys so much for racing with us tonight.
I can do it. You can do it.
If you guys have not had enough, it's okay, I got them. We are going to be eating some bugs back here at 6 o'clock. If you guys would like to come back and have some, don't worry, it's not going to be the racing ones. No. Now let's go back to the Master Showman at the Food and Farm Show.
Welcome back to the Food and Farm Show. We're here at the 2015 Master Showmanship Competition. I'm Teresa Dietrich here with my co-host Heath Mullen, who was last year's Master Showmanship winner at the Nevada County Fair. So Heath, looks like we're starting with dairy goats.
Yeah, we definitely are going to start with these dairy goats. We've kind of got a different spread on these goats, so it'll be interesting to see how these exhibitors work with those different goats.
Well, when we first came up, I thought, how can they use those Nigerian dwarfs in the same competition as they're using full-size dairy goats? Isn't that kind of a disadvantage?
It's not really a disadvantage. These exhibitors, it's not really judged on those goats in particular. It's kind of showmanship. So, I mean, every once in a while, those little goats even work better than some of the big goats. So, I mean, I don't see it as a disadvantage at all.
Okay. I was thinking my aching back. Those Nigerian does are very small. So once they start walking around again, we're going to tell you who they are and what species they are here as winners of. And we've got the meat goats right next to us, being cuddly and friendly and trying to chew on everything. And here we go. Heath, go ahead and tell us who they are. And
so in the beginning, we have Cheyenne Little. She was the dairy cattle winner. With Fountain Foster behind her, she shows sheep. We have Miranda Solero behind her. She's the swine showman. And then we also have Maddie Prector behind her. She's the beef showman. Jerry grows behind her. She is the dairy goat showman. And then Marina McKenzie in the back, and she is the meat goat showman.
So the dairy goat showman is the one to watch for all the special tricks and cues here today.
Yeah, definitely. She should do pretty good in this competition.
Since the meat goats are shown so completely different, really showing meat goats isn't really an advantage in the dairy goat competition.
No, not really anymore. It used to be, but they've completely changed this order around, so it's definitely a big difference now. So he's pulling these girls out in the middle right now, asking them their questions in the middle of the ring so those other exhibitors can't hear.
Oh, that's right. I can remember them asking, how many stomachs does the goat have, and name the stomachs?
Yeah, it definitely could be a question.
And I would say, the rumen, the reticulum, the mesum, and the abomasum. I still remember it. It's rote. It's in my brain. And the breeds. He's going to ask them about the breeds, I would imagine.
Yeah, so that big doe that's out there is a Nubian.
Who's he talking to now?
Which showman is that Cheyenne?
Yeah, that is Cheyenne Little.
Uh-huh. And she's the independent.
Yeah, and she has a big Nubian doe out there right now.
Cheyenne was the young lady who had the crazy lamb that had to be replaced in the sheep portion of this. So he appears to be asking her about confirmation questions.
Yeah, definitely could be some confirmation questions, and how well she's able to answer those questions is going to be played into how this dairy show plays out.
Now, how much, I don't remember what the scorecard shows. I used to remember all this stuff, but how much of this is based on your knowledge, and how much of this is based on your ability to show the animal to the best possible?
To be honest, I'm actually not completely sure. I've never actually really looked at the scorecard for the Master Showmanship, so not too sure on that actually at all.
It seems like a lot of weight on information as well.
Yeah, it definitely can be a lot of weight on those information. I feel like a lot of it is kind of based off their knowledge of those species.
Now he's talking to.
And this is
Fallon Foster.
Fallon Foster. And from Nevada Union FFA.
Check 1, 2.
And there's Brianna Caballero.
Yeah, Brianna Caballero of Nevada Union.
And she's the swine winner.
Yeah, she is the swine showman.
You know, we always had pretty much every species on our farm, but the dairy goats are great to have when you're going to raise swine.
Yeah, they definitely can be. So you have that little added supplement for those babies.
Well, we used to feed a lot of milk to our table pigs, not our market hogs. That looks like an Oberhalsey that she's showing.
Yeah, Patty Prector and Brianna Caballero both have Oberhasleys.
When I was just getting out of 4-H, they were just becoming popular.
They've kind of been coming back into it.
But they're a pretty big milk producer.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Now again, these animals were all brought in here by other people who were showing them here. Are these mostly 4-H and FFA animals, project animals, or are these
these are probably actually some open goat showers.
Okay.
So not too sure on actually what's in here. I know it's probably not really any exhibitors.
And so they're just squaring them up. They don't brace them like they do the sheep.
No, they definitely do not. You definitely get a little, actually a pretty big knock if you did brace a dairy goat.
But he's asking her questions, and then I didn't see that she had her animals set up.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if she did have her animal set up or not, which could hurt her in the long run.
I see what you mean about the Nigerians being a little easier because they seem like they set themselves up.
Yeah, some of them really do set themselves up, and it's not really a struggle for those exhibitors to get those animals set.
That's kind of a nice thing.
So it'll be an interesting show with these FFA exhibitors to see how it ends up playing out for most of them.
You have any feeling at the moment as to who do you see any standout?
I think it's kind of still pretty much an open field as how I see it right now.
This could get pretty tight then, couldn't it?
Yeah, I definitely think it is going to be a tight competition because no one's really been that outstanding standout to me. So I think it'll be a tight competition with these 6 exhibitors.
I see Fallon Foster is very intently watching the judge.
Yeah, she definitely is. That's part of the showmanship competition, is that eye contact aspect.
And you will also receive a plaque sponsored by Nevada County and State. Winner of the FFA large
I noticed that the independent young lady was on the wrong side of the animal at a certain point, and I'm wondering if the judge noticed that as well.
Yeah, I definitely probably think he did.
Seems like the goats are one of the lesser popular species to show for a lot of kids.
Aren't as popular as they used to be.
And I happen to love goats, so so I think this would be the easiest portion for me.
Yeah, I used to show them a lot. I kind of got out of it and switched over to the cattle.
Oh, so the judge has his scorecard out. He's making his last little adjustments and decisions here, talking to each one of the showmen. And you can definitely see some different style and technique between the different showmen.
Yeah, you definitely can. It's definitely, they all have their own little style or own little nick that they put into these shows. So I think it's pretty much anyone's game right now still.
This is that one time you're allowed to turn your back to the judge.
Yeah, one time.
The rest of the time you better have your eyes peeled. So this, at the end of this, we will be halfway through the competition.
That concludes our FFA Dairy Goat Showmanship competition. Next in will be our 4-H'ers, and they will also compete in the Dairy Showmanship competition.
So now the 4-H showmen are going to be coming in next to take charge of these dairy goats, and we'll see how they do. On the last species, it seemed like the animals behaved better for the 4-H'ers, so we'll see if that carries true
Yeah,
with
it's been pretty much all the way through. Those animals have been doing better for the 4-H than the FFA exhibitors.
Here we go. Hi, I'm Teresa Dietrich, here with my co-host, Heath Mullen, last year's Master Showmanship winner.
So now we're going to be headed into the 4-H dairy goat competition right now. So we have Becca Reese in the front. She's our swine showmanship winner. We have Keith Ward coming in next. He was the dairy cattle winner. Then we have Josh Smith. He was the dairy goat winner. Riley Prechter, the beef cattle winner. Gracie Trimble, the sheep winner, and then Jeannie King, the meat goat winner.
So you said Jeannie King does show dairy goats as well.
Yeah, I believe that she does also show dairy goats.
But of course, these aren't her goats, so it's... And if indeed these are open goats instead of project goats, they might be a little harder to handle and less accustomed to all the little tricks of the trade that the 4-H and FFA project members use.
Yeah, they are definitely going to be a little confused if these exhibitors try to pull something else out.
So Heath, standing behind us is the FFA showman with their back to the competition. Why is it that way?
I'm not too sure. That I know that in the past you're not allowed to talk to any other exhibitors or talk to anyone in the public or kind of watch anything. The FFA is allowed to watch the swine at the very end, but that's about it, just so they don't see, they're not getting views of these animals on what's kind of behaving right now, so that's kind of just luck of the draw when they go out there.
I see. So I did notice that the FFA kids had their back too. So it's just to prevent there from being a selection choice advantage.
It's kind of you just go in with that luck of the draw.
Because in the last grouping, they just walked in and they were handed an animal. In this case, they selected their animal.
Yeah. So in all the competitions, you're allowed to pick what animal you want. Well, some fairs will assign animals to different people, just so in case you've worked with that animal in the past, you don't get it again.
So do you think that makes a big difference, or do you think it's moot? Now the judge is asking questions of our all-star here. This young lady has quite an accomplishment on her hat, doesn't she?
Yeah, she definitely does. It's a lot of medals and stars and accomplishment that she's got through 4-H.
She seems to have her animal nicely set up. Now he's going on to the next one. I'm so curious. Let me help you though. I can be a good assistant. Now he knows which kid won, no, he doesn't.
No, he has no idea what they show, but he could probably pretty well guess by what they kind of shine in.
So do you suppose he's asking them all pretty much the same questions?
Yeah, he most likely is asking them pretty much the same questions, just to keep it out of just keep it fair playing field.
And as we were talking about earlier, that could be conformation, it could be breed characteristic, it could be about dairy characteristic.
Yeah, it could be really anything that they want.
I can remember having to recite all the different breeds. How many teeth do they have? Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of information that you have to know about each and every species.
Yeah, there definitely is.
You ever thought about writing a little cheat sheet book now that you've won?
Kind of have it in the memory bank now.
Oh, you're not gonna publish anything to help the next guy out though, huh?
Nope, gotta keep it a secret.
Gotta keep it a secret. It's the secret sauce.
Yep.
Now, how tired are these kids getting by this point?
Probably pretty tired. At this point last year, I was like just ready to go to sleep because you're standing this whole entire time. You don't really get a chair to sit in. It's kind of like, ugh.
And there's a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of pressure.
And is that pressure also worse when you see your family and friends standing around watching?
It can be just because you're like your family will kind of try to make like eye contact or like try to look over at you, and it's like I can't talk to you, like look away, sorry, but it's kind of hard when they're like over there waving at you, making facial expressions, like trying to tell you what to do, and it's like I know what to do.
I've seen that many times where mom or dad or grandparents are standing over there, pinch it, scratch it, do something, change it, look what it's doing. They don't realize that they're just distracting everyone.
Yeah, they definitely are distracting.
So in the dairy goats, you're supposed to be on the opposite side of the animal and looking at the judge, paying attention to the judge. And we're going to see something a little different with the meat goats here.
They'll still be showing the same. You still want to keep animal in between you and the judge. The only thing that's different is meat goats. Normally when you used to show them, you would only brace them when the judge would come and touch them. Now you're bracing pretty much 24/7.
Oh, so really, really like a lamb.
Yeah, exactly like a lamb. Except you have a chain to walk on.
Meat goats are quite a bit more docile than sheep usually, though.
Yeah, they definitely can be.
And he's making his notes on a scorecard now.
Figuring out that final placing.
I think these exhibitors have done really well about keeping their animals set up.
Yeah, they definitely have.
Now, is it just a personal preference? Some of the showmen are squatted down. That's what we used to do a lot of. Is it just a personal preference?
Kind of when you have those little goats, you kind of want to be down with them. So it's kind of what they feel comfortable doing. And it's definitely not required that you be down there with them, but it's kind of, if they like to be down there, they can be down there.
That concludes our dairy goat competition of our large animal Master Showmanship competition. Next up, we'll start.
We've got quite a crowd here tonight watching this, don't we?
Yeah, there always is.
Not very many open seats in the stands. A lot of support for these young people. And we'll be right back here on the Food and Farm Show.
Greg's Organics is a certified organic farm located on West Main Street in downtown Grass Valley. Taste the love of locally grown CCOF certified organic tomatoes. Greg's Organics specializes in unique, rare, and highly sought-after varieties. Greg's Organics are sold only to the best supermarkets, health food stores, restaurants, and school districts.
Greg's Organics, taste the love.
Anything Green Hydroponics is your source for hydrosystems, grow lights, and soils. Anything Green offers a complete range of organic nutrients as well as fungicides, miticides, and predatory bugs. Anything Green Hydroponics has just received this year's soil. Get your totes, pallets, or individual bags. Stay tuned for future workshops. It's all at Anything Green Hydroponics.
We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I love SPD Market because I know all the people here and I've been coming here for a long time. I do all my socializing here and they're just a great community supporter.
I like SPD Market because it's like coming home and seeing all the people I've known for years.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Welcome back to the fair edition of the Food and Farm Show. We're at the Master Showmanship Competition, starting the meat goat show.
So I'm Teresa Dietrich, and here with me is my co-host Heath Mullins, last year's Master Showmanship winner here at the Nevada County Fair. And Heath and I are having a great time trying to figure out who we think is going to win this show. How about you guys? Who do you think is doing the best here? Now we're heading into the meat goats. I'm looking forward to see what the difference is between today's showmanship and how it was back in my day when I was showing meat goats?
It's definitely a whole different style from back in the day. You're bracing those animals as much as you can.
They're setting their animals up, and they're not being very cooperative. Some of them aren't. Some of them are a little more feisty than the others. And again, we have Fallon Foster.
We have Fallon Foster, Marina McKenzie.
And Fallon won the sheep showmanship. Okay. And
Marina McKenzie won the meat goat. Brianna Silvero won swine. Cheyenne Little won dairy goat. Maddie Brecker won beef. And Jerry Groves won dairy goats, but she also shows meat goats as well.
She seems to be having a little difficulty with her animal at the moment.
Yeah, she definitely kind of is.
One thing that might be noted, I think, the dairy goats overall look bigger. You know, the big milking goats looked bigger. They look like they might be more of a challenge. But these meat goats are strong. They're very beefy.
Yeah, they are.
They weigh a lot.
Yeah, most of these goats are probably right around 100, or not 100, anywhere from 65 to like 100 pounds.
The dairy goats, the full-size dairy goats, probably were really not any more than that.
No, not really. The meat goats kind of pack it all together, so they're not as big.
So they can actually be a little bit more of a challenge, can't they?
Yeah, they definitely can be.
Not to mention dairy goats you have for years. You work with them for many years, and these are market meat goats, so these are going to the auction probably.
Yeah, all of these will be auctioned off tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Meat goats are quite popular now. They bring a really solid price.
Yeah, they are becoming a lot more popular in the industry, and a lot of people are starting to like goat a lot more.
Do you know that actually, statistically, 90% of the world ethnically consumes goat meat?
It's a lot of percent.
That's huge, isn't it?
What I've heard is it's the next heart-friendly red meat.
It's lean, yes. It's a lot less fatty than beef.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And when they step on you, it's not quite so bad.
Yeah, it's not painful at all.
If a 1,200-pound steer steps on you, you certainly know you got stepped on.
Yeah, you definitely know that happened. Foot's a little sore after. If you step on you, not too bad at all.
Not to mention, when I work with my goats, I don't mind wearing my sandals, and I would never do that with beef.
Yeah, not at all.
These are all pretty much a Boer cross, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, all of them either purebred Boer or Boer cross. Like the two brown ones are definitely have some cross in them.
Classic Boer is the white body and the red head.
Yes.
Now, even the way these are clipped is a little bit different than the dairy goats.
Yeah, the meat goats are left with a little bit of hair on the tail, hair from the knee down or the hock down, and then they're slick sheared the rest of the body.
So that also is more like sheep.
Yeah.
Now, anything you see these showmen doing that you particularly notice? Good, bad, or indifferent?
They're all kind of right where they need to be, I think.
And what kinds of questions is he asking about the meat goat?
He could be asking breeds, what those cuts are, how much per pound, and maybe something to feed or anything like that.
How about the medical differences? You know, I mean, meat goats you treat a little bit differently because you're not drinking the milk. So a lot of people use Dequinate when they're babies in their feed. There's just some different things that you do. But these animals have to have pretty much been all fed organically. They can't have medication in their bloodstream when they come to the fair. And there's no point disadvantage to having the scurs like on this first one. Not for this obviously, but
nothing she can do about it. So it's kind of
A big round of applause for our judge today, Mr. Alex Thompson.
Now see the difference in style with the way Brianna Caballero holds her arm and shows.
It's just a little unique little thing that she can do to kind of show some spice, but it's not required or not really even that necessary.
I thought that was nicely done. She was paying attention. She was really making sure the judge was looking at the animal.
Yeah, she definitely was.
Now he's having them stand up.
He's moving them around one last time as he's making out his scorecard. He's
kind of just trying to see who can handle themselves better in different situations.
And who's actually paying attention to the judge.
Yeah, exactly. Testing out those exhibitors as best as you can.
So he did this a little differently. He changed order.
Yeah, it's kind of anything that he wanted to do. It's nothing particular. Good thing.
Now, she was just on the wrong side of the judge there for a few minutes. Again, she is right now.
Yeah, she definitely is. Kind of fixed that, but it's a little too late.
He definitely noticed that. I can remember when meat goats were first being shown, seeing kids step over their back to get on the other side. Going around behind them, all kinds of crazy things. But when meat goats first hit the show ring, nobody really knew what to do with them because they weren't a dairy goat.
They're kind of a new species.
They were a new species back in the day, yeah. Oh, and I see we've got the pigs coming out into the ring now. They're in the holding pens. So we're moving along rather quickly here this afternoon.
Space, trying to get it done real faster.
And we have some meat goats that are definitely being a little feisty here this afternoon. So it'll be interesting to see if they're a little kinder and gentler on the 4-H members.
Concludes our market goat showmanship competition.
And that concludes the market goat portion.
And the first class in the ring will be our FFA exhibitors.
So those 4-H members to do the market goat.
Oh, we have 4-H, right. We have 4-H market goats yet to go.
Sorry about that. We're actually going to do our 4-H market goat competition. And from that,
I played off the announcer wrong. All right.
And our last class will be our 4-H.
Now, if you were coming in right now, which goat would you pick, Heath?
I'd probably go for one of these bigger frame goats.
Now, we always use choke chains on ours. The collars are even different.
Yeah, it's all kind of just shifted.
And here we go, folks. The 4-H members are entering the ring now with their selected meat goats to move forward with this portion of the competition. I was thinking to myself, let it go, let it go. So they're getting them all set up and ready. Now with these guys, you're just trying to make them pretty square and blocky.
Yep. You just want those front legs square, back legs kind of stretching a little bit and show off those loins that they have. And kind of just make them the best that you can.
Oh, no, she almost rear-ended Riley's goat, so what happens in that case? Do we let somebody else go ahead of us, or how should they proceed?
She just has to proceed in however she has to.
She's getting a good workout of her arm muscles here.
Yep.
And that's Riley Prechter, who was the beef showmanship winner.
Yeah, and then we have Becca Reese, who was the swine showmanship winner. And then we have Gracie Trimble, who was sheep. Heath Ward, who was dairy cattle. Jeannie King, who was the meat goat showmanship winner. And then Josh Smith, who was that dairy goat winner.
So she had to encourage that goat with his tail, and that is fully acceptable and allowed?
Fully acceptable. She knew how to get him to go, so it's completely okay.
All right. Good to know. I don't think I would have wanted to have to do that, but work for her. It's awesome. She's a good little show woman. Oh. Now see, back in my day, we also wouldn't have been allowed to wear spangly things, sparkly things on our pant pockets either.
It's kind of just a new thing that all the girls do. They like bling jeans.
Adding a little bling bling, is acceptable now. I think I was just born in the wrong era. I would have enjoyed it much more now.
That concludes our market goat competition, and our final round in the ring will be our swine showmanship and our first.
I'm sorry, I can't see them as food.
And we will finish up the competition with our 4 acres. So that's for you to the picture.
I can't see these goats as food, Gil. I just can't. Welcome back to the 2015 Master Showmanship Competition here at the Nevada County Fair. This is the final species, one of my favorite to watch. This is the swine. We've got the FFA in doing swine showmanship. How about you, Heath? You've shown swine.
Yeah, I definitely have shown swine. It's one of my least favorites because they're so unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen or how those pigs are going to happen.
Now let me ask you, they're using their show sticks. Those are different than what we used to. We used to use canes back in my day. Now, did they have to bring their own show stick, or are they borrowing show sticks?
No, everything is supplied for these members, so I think that it's completely fine. They either get the luck of the draw if they want a whip or if they want one of the sticks, so they get to pick what they want.
And our swine showmanship winner, Brianna Saballero, seems to be the only one that is using more of a whip type apparatus.
Yeah, she definitely is. She's really good at what she does.
And tell us what he's doing now, what's going on here. Show us.
He's kind of just evaluating, walking around, so you can keep that pig in front of him the longest time. Keep that head up, keep that pig driving, not letting him stop, not letting anything happen for those pigs.
So you've got to also keep them somewhat apart because otherwise they're going to start fighting.
Yeah, there should be people in there with pig boards, like this man over here has a pig board, so if any fights break out, he will stop them.
And so you're just putting the pig between you and the judge and keeping the pig in front.
Yeah.
And now he's going to ask them questions. So what sorts of questions have you been asked in the past?
I've been asked just anything from the breed of the pig to how many teeth the pig has, what's like gestation of a pig, market prices, cuts. So it's all just kind of those general pig questions.
The young lady, the independent here, seems to be quite good at swine showmanship also, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's been doing pretty good.
I'm impressed. When they start squealing, you definitely don't. I see the one young lady was putting her hand down there. I definitely don't want to put my hand near the mouth of the pig when he's squealing or looking at another pig.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think I would either.
there's quite a fine art to keeping that pig close, but not letting it become a dog pile.
Yeah, you don't want them too close to that judge, so you never want the pig to actually touch the judge.
So you don't want it to be claustrophobic for the judge.
Exactly.
And for the viewing audience, are these market hogs also?
Yeah, all these are market hogs. They'll
And so-
also get sold tomorrow as well.
And what's the weight range we're seeing in here?
Probably right around 240 to 270-ish.
Oh, that's a lot of bacon.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And so now he's wandering around asking questions. Now, should she have allowed her pig to wander that way?
Yeah, you're allowed to let your
Okay.
pig wander around, so that's completely okay.
Okay. I don't remember that, but I don't think I really did showmanship much with my swine. I usually did it with sheep and dairy, goat, and cattle. And the swine were a little too challenging to
Yeah,
me,
swine
showmanship.
are my least favorite.
Yet they're one of the smartest animals.
Yeah, they are. I mean, definitely smart animals. They just kind of have their mind of their own.
I used to exercise mine by teaching them to fetch the frisbee, and I played frisbee with them.
That's awesome.
And they love to play frisbee, and it's a great way to exercise them. They'll race around all day for that frisbee. That was funny. So how stressful is this? This is the last species.
It's kind of a relief, though. You kind of know once I'm done with this, I'm done for the day. Nothing I could have changed. Did the best that you could.
They're definitely the louder species too.
Yep, they definitely are.
They very much do have a mind of their own.
Got the scorecard.
Oh, he's got his scorecard out. We're down to the home stretch here for the FFA Showman. Now, typically when you finish, do you come stand out here? Do you get to go sit down? What do you do?
Depending on what they want to let those FA members do, normally they're allowed to watch the 4-H go. Last year I kind of just stood by myself, kind of just thought about how I did, and knew that if I didn't win, there's nothing I could have changed about what happened. Thought I tried my hardest, and I definitely did. I was able to win.
So did you have a sense that you may have won?
I kind of definitely did. I felt really strong. The only thing I didn't feel strong in was definitely a sheep. But everything else I felt really strong in, so I really thought I did have like a good shot, and I really thought I had it, and then I ended up winning it.
And was that different than the previous year when you took second?
A little bit, just because last year I got a pretty good pig. The year before that, my pig wouldn't cooperate.
Oh.
It stood in the corner the whole time.
Luck of the draw.
Yep. So it was definitely interesting to see how things play out.
The first pig I ever had for a market pig had erysipelas, and so she was really stiff in the front. And oh, she just laid down and wouldn't move. It was awful. All the dads are trying to help you with the pig boards, trying to push that pig up and out of there. It definitely can be really frustrating with swine.
Yeah, it definitely can be. It's always hard to do.
So is he still judging, or do you think he's just about done? I know he's still talking.
I think he's got asking a couple more questions. I think he definitely has a little bit of a tie in here. So I think he's definitely trying to narrow it down to that top number 1 of the pig show. Yeah, I can tell that he's definitely kind of got a little bit of a tie going on when he's going back and asking music and there's more questions.
So now's when you realize, even though you're almost to the end, you're so close but so far away.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the finishing stretch, the final details. And if the judge came over and asked you just one more question, would that be a confidence for you, builder, or would that?
It can be. I'm not too sure. It's kind of a mix of different things, I would think.
He's actually spending more time with this than he has with several of the other species.
Yeah, definitely. Pigs always kind of take some time.
This is kind of where the rubber meets the road. And they're going back in their pens, so that will conclude the FFA competition. And now we're going to have the 4-H members come in and...
We have now reached the final round of our large animal Master Showmanship competition. And we will have our 4-Hers come in and do swine showmanship. And at the conclusion of this class, we're going to take a few minutes to tabulate the scores. And we're also going to present in the ring here a TLC award. And while we're adding up the scores, we're going to give that award and then we'll...
Oh, now they're breathing, right?
Yep, definitely.
Let's take one more round of applause.
You can kind of see that they're not going to watch.
I think that she might let him watch.
So it must feel good to get that coat off at this juncture. And this is a good time to check out how white pants get really messed up here at the fair.
Yeah.
This is what mom gets to deal with when these kids get home. Look at the bottom of the white pants of the showman after showing the swine. Those pants may never be white again, folks. Welcome back to the Food and Farm Show. We're here watching the final 4-H Master Showmanship competition. The FFA just completed, and now the FFA is waiting in the wings while the 4-Hers show the swine. So Heath, what do you think?
I think the 4-H coming at a disadvantage really hard on the pigs. Just because the pigs already get so stressed out in that FFA show, pigs really stress easy. So I think the 4-H definitely have a disadvantage in the swine show. Just because these pigs have been in here, they know where those corners are, they know where the fence is. So I think they come in a hard disadvantage coming into this big show.
Once pigs get tired, they're just pretty cranky and hard to deal with.
Yeah, if you see Riley Brecker right here, she's having a little trouble getting that pig to walk. So I think that pig's pretty tired.
It does depend too on how hard the previous handler showed it.
Yeah, exactly.
How much energy they put into keeping it in front of the judge.
I believe that Brianna Cibolero had that hog before, and Brianna's a really good showman, so it's definitely going to be a pretty tired little hog.
They're definitely being a bit louder this go around.
Yep, they definitely are. They get stressed out. They want to lay down. They want to go back to their pens. They want their dinner.
They sneeze like this one just did.
Yeah, they can sneeze.
They're always rooting around looking for that acorn, aren't they?
Yeah.
Josh here has his hands full. Do you want some?
It's definitely interesting to see.
They're all crabby now. So I haven't walked through the swine barn yet, but we have a lot more white pigs in this arena.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Is this the fashion this year?
It kind of just depends on what those exhibitors want to bring us there. If they have something that's all white, if it's a lot better than what they're normally, those black hogs, then they're going to bring those white hogs.
Oh, dog pile in the corner. So you're allowed to slap them with your hand and use your show stick?
Yeah, if you need to get them to go, if they're stuck in that corner, you can use your hands. It's not really recommended, but if you need it, you can.
And a knee here. It must be hard to judge also because it's so distracting.
Yeah, it definitely can be pretty hard to judge, especially when you have this many pigs screaming right now.
So you're trying to concentrate and all the noise and all the commotion.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get through some shows.
So in my mind, there was two really close competitors coming into this. Are you seeing it stay true here with the swine? It seems like things might be shifting a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely think it is shifting a little bit. I have pretty much a clear winner for the 4-H show. I'm not too sure where things are going to go in the FFA show. But I have a pretty decent feeling of who I like for the 4-H show.
No matter what the placing, everybody's done a fantastic job.
They've all worked hard to get to this. They've won their respective species, so it's awesome. If they were able to get this far, they were able to kind of pull off some good wins in their respective species.
And this looks great on a college application, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely probably does.
Are you getting ready to do your college applications?
I already did.
You did?
Yep.
And so you put that right in there?
Yeah, I definitely did.
And that's a lot of what this is all about, isn't it? 4-H and FFA really prepare you to go forward.
Into the real world.
Knowing how to keep records, knowing how to be responsible. They definitely are ready to go to their corners and lay down and roll around.
Definitely want to go back to the pen and get some snacks.
Almost there, Jimmy. And that concludes the 4-H portion.
Market goats, 124, Jeannie King, Chicago. 3, Rebecca Reese, Kentucky Flat 4-H. And our dairy goat showman, 125, Josh Smith, Independent. And now we're going to bring our presenters, Mr. Ray Callender, Nevada County Fair CEO, and Sandy Blue, a Fair Director.
So our new CEO, the new guy, is in there to present the Master Showmanship Award. You know, he was a Master Showmanship in his own right some 40 years ago. He won Reserve Grand Champion Market Steer here at Nevada County Fair.
Okay, yeah, he's had an impact on this fair, and it's for the better.
Our third place showman in the FFA division,
Ooh, and drum roll, please.
number 130, Marina McKenzie.
Wow. So now they're going
Tied
to
for
announce
second,
him.
128, Fallon Foster, and 126, Maddie Prechter. And your FFA Master Showman, number 129, Brianna Cedera.
Wow. That was actually my pick, Heath.
That wasn't mine.
It wasn't? It was my pick, but that may be partiality because I really like her and her family. They have a fabulous family too.
Our third place showman, Grace Trimble. Tied for second, Jeannie King, and Rebecca Reese. Victorious Master Showman, number 120, Riley Preston.
That was my pick as well.
Yeah, that was my 4-H pick.
We were agreeing upon that 4-H pick. So that just speaks volumes of what the future is going to hold. You're going to be seeing that young lady in this arena many, many more times in the future, folks.
Yeah, we definitely will be.
Really great. Congratulations to all of the competitors.
So my name's Heath Mullen. I'm here with the Master Showmanship winner, Brianna Cedera.
Hi.
Bree, so what are you feeling right now?
I'm pretty excited and I can't believe that I just won.
Did you have a feeling that you had a pretty good shot at winning this?
Not really actually.
What species did you feel that you struggled in the most today?
Probably goats because the chain on my goat broke.
So that would definitely be a major struggle in my book too. What species do you think you really excelled in?
Probably pigs.
Do you have any advice for like incoming Master Showmanship or participants in the future?
Stay cool, calm, and collected.
So this is Brianna Cedera. She was our Master Showmanship winner from Nevada Union FFA.
So I'm here with our 4-H Master Showmanship winner, Riley Prechter. Say hello to everyone, Riley.
Hello.
Tell us, you and I were just talking a little bit about this. What was the hardest species for you?
My pig and goats.
It was the meat goat, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think that meat goat had you outweighed by a bit.
Just a little bit.
So show everybody that spectacular buckle. I asked Riley if she was going to get a new belt to put that buckle on, and she said
no.
She's going to use the same buckle she has. So, you know, this is so exciting. How old are you?
12.
I'm going to just go out on a limb here, folks, and predict that we're going to see a lot more of Riley Prechter in the future here at the Master Showmanship Competition at the Nevada County Fair. Congratulations, Riley.
Thank you.
Well, that concludes our coverage of the 2015 Master Showmanship Competition here at the Nevada County Fair. I'm Teresa Dietrich with my co-host Heath Mullen, and he is last year's champion. So now you've kind of been rubbed out by a couple of people, Heath.
Yeah, I definitely have. I'm really happy for Bree and Riley. They'll make awesome representatives at next year's State Fair. I wish them the best of luck. They're both two amazing showmen and really close friends of mine.
And how about next year? Are we going to see you here in the Master Showmanship competition next year?
Hopefully we will see me here next year. If everything goes right, I will be back next year competing and hopefully taking home that buckle next year. Things just didn't go as planned this year, but I'll work harder next year and prepare for the better.
And then after this, you're going to be headed to college. One more year, and then you're headed off to college.
I'm attending Sierra College starting in August this year, majoring in ag business, and then I will be attending either Chico State or Cal Poly after that to finish my school in ag business.
Awesome. Well, I think everybody here was 100% a winner. We so enjoyed the Ag Mechanics auction last night and all those fabulous projects and all the great kids. Nevada County Fair, every year, it's just amazing to me what talented and wonderful youth we have here. So proud of all these people and so happy to be here. So we'll see you next time on the Food and Farm Show. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you, guys.